So here we are seeing, we have seen the business objectives. First was organic objective. In that we have seen what is the survival strategy, what is the growth strategy, and what all are the prestigious. Second, we have seen yesterday economic objective. Economic objectives of a business firm is first is profit, then innovation, then creation of wealth, then creation of customer and sales. Today we will start with our social objectives. What all are the social objectives of a business firm? Social objectives of business firm refers towards the investors, employees, customers, dealers, suppliers, government, and general public. That means your stakeholders, not your shareholders, stakeholders. So our responsibility towards our stakeholders, because they are the one who will be investing in your company, they are the one who will be working for you, they are the one who will be purchasing your goods, they are the one who will be supplying you goods, and all the government rules, regulations, and all the government bodies. Okay, so this is what the responsibilities are towards our stakeholders. So first we will see what is our responsibility towards our customer, because as we have seen, customers are the start and the end point of the business. We do production, we do manufacturing only for the customers, as well as who is going to purchase the goods, again the customers. So the business needs to have social objectives towards the customer, okay, for the survival of a business. So what it involves? It involves supplying good quality goods. As I said, you and me as a customer also, what do we require? We require a good quality goods. Charging the right price. That means for maintaining the quality, for improving the quality, we cannot charge high. So the prices should be correct. Providing timely after-sales services. Basically, nowadays, as I have said you, it is totally and purely customer-oriented business. Whatever business we are doing, any type of business, it is purely customer-oriented business. So henceforth, what we need to provide them a proper and timely goods. After-sales services, especially your guarantee period, your warranty period, your installations, everything. So what type of after-sales services you are giving, that is also important, because customers nowadays, they gather the information from the different sites, from different companies, and then they improve themselves. Next, what are our responsibility towards our dealers? Dealers assist the business to promoting and purchasing of goods in the market. Okay, so for dealers, what are all our roles? Our role is to supply the goods on right time, providing training to the sales staff, providing the right price or right packages. Okay, because again, for example, you're purchasing the goods from the dealers, that dealer should not be paid timely, whatever wages or whatever their payments are, payment should be paid timely. Then only your dealers will deal properly. Then only they will deal and promote your goods in a correct manner. Next, towards the employees, what all your responsibility towards your employees? See, employees are the one who are working for you, who are for manufacturing for you. Being as a CEO, being as a manager, you are just planning the work, but execution part is done by the employees. So employees should be given timely payment, wages, and incentives. Okay, the salaries, the wages should be paid to them timely. Apart from them, try to give them the incentives. If they are doing extra, if they are doing better work, company should provide them the incentives. Then provision for good working conditions. This is also one of the mandatory feature, giving them the good and proper working condition. Because for example, you're working for 8 hours, 9 hours, and there is no sanitation facility, there is no restrooms, then it will be difficult, because we are human beings. At any point of time, we may get tired, we may get faint, or we may be thinking to have a rest for some time. So what happens over there? these facilities, proper air conditions facilities, proper ventilation facilities, proper sanitation facilities, all these facilities are also required as a part of a employee. Next is provision for welfare facilities. The company should give them the proper welfare facilities. They should go for the group insurance, health insurance for the company. Apart from that, they should give some good policies, maternity policy, paternity policies. All these policies are also should be included for each and every company as a part of their employees, because these things will motivate your employees to work for you. See, okay, my company is providing me each and every facilities. Next, towards the government, as a businessman, as a firm's need, we are having our responsibility towards our government as well. Now, what are our responsibility towards the government? First of all, to pay the taxes on time. We should be paying the taxes on time, because that again, in turn, the government will use and utilize those money for the infrastructure development. Okay, nowadays we are seeing the metro plans are going on, bridges, flyovers are being developing. So from where those monies are coming, that has been arrived, that has been arranged, or that has been incurred by the taxes which the businessmen are paying. Next, following the government rules and regulations. Follow all the government rules and regulations, all the acts. Okay, do your business based on the act, whichever acts are based on the act, whatever act is required. Whether you are fitting to the Companies Act 1956, whether you are fitting to the Partnership Act or the Joint Stock Company, whatever, or the Cooperative Society Act, whatever act is being liable to you, you should follow all those rules and regulations. Next, providing the financial aid and support to the welfare activities. If anything is required, for example, any natural calamities occurs in the country, okay, those natural calamities should also be funded by the businessman. For example, nowadays when the pandemic situation has been started, so many of the businessmen, for the best example is your Tata, Ratan Tata. He has given more than 100 crores of rupees to the society for the development. So these all financial aid should also be helped by the business or enterprises. Next is towards the shareholders. Now, what are our responsibilities towards the shareholders? Shareholders are the one who are investing in your company, who are your investors. So we should always pay them the timely dividend. Okay, so dividend is required, because if you will be paying the dividend to them on a proper and timely manner, then only they will be investing you and in your company more and more. Disclosing the correct information about the fund. You should not hide the information from your shareholders, your investors, because when if they think that as a company you have been cheating to them, so definitely they will withdraw. So what we should do, we should be disclosing all the balance sheets, all the data to them, okay, purely, truly, fairly. Enhancing the shareholders' wealth by issuing the bonus shares. Develop them by issuing your bonus shares. So again, those shareholders will be motivated. Again, those shareholders will be happy with your organization, and they will again invest in your company rather than moving to your competitors' companies. So these are some of the responsibilities. These are some of the objectives, okay, towards your different stakeholders, not shareholders. Again, I'm saying stakeholders. Next, moving ahead with the human objectives. What all are our human objectives? Human objectives of a business relate to the employee or provide their services to the effective and working businesses. Okay, so human objectives is the success and the largely dependent quality of the employees. Because what human means the employees who are working, employees who are being engaged in your organization. So for them, what are our responsibilities? What are our responsibilities for human resources? Because they are the one who are actually working, implementing your plans. We are the CEOs and the superiors, they only plan, but implementation is done on the part of the employee. So the first rule that has every organization, every enterprise has to follow its fair wages. Employees should be paid fairly. It is equal work, equal pay. Whatever work they are doing, based on that, you pay them. Sometimes what happens, employees are working like donkeys. That means they are working high, but the wages are paid to them are very low. Here what will happen, the employee will be demotivated and he will not work properly, then he will not work efficiently. So to keep them motivated, to make them engage in the work, what we should be doing, we should be paying them equal work, equal pay. That means whatever work they are doing, based on that, you pay them, give them the fair wages, salaries, whatever it is. Next is the proper working condition. As I said, for working, we need a proper working condition. If there is no light, if there is no ventilation, if there is no air that has been passed, okay, so no one is going to work like that. If there is no proper sitting facilities, if there is no proper canteen, if there is no proper sanitation facilities, recreation facilities, what will happen? There it is very, very impossible. Even for you and me as an individual, as a human being, it is very impossible to work for 8 to 9 to 10 hours without such facilities. So every organization should see that they are giving a proper atmosphere, they are giving a proper worker condition to them. Next is workers' participation in management. Always there should be a worker participation management strategy. That means the worker should also be involved in management decisions. Okay, superiors should always not take their own decision, and it is not that whatever decision the superiors are taking, always it is correct, always it is liable. Okay, so what we should be doing it, we should be seeing that we should be working participation, workers participation in the work. Okay, so that will again help you to motivate your customers, motivate your workers. That means your employees. Employees will also feel happy that okay, my management is involving me in their decisions. So इसमें क्या होता है? इसमें trustworthiness बढ़ जाता है. Okay, and then the employee will be working more efficiently, more motivatedly. आपको उसके लिए उनमें extra input डालने की जरूरत नहीं है, but only involve them in your decision. Then they will be liking it. Then they will be self-motivated. Okay, that they are considering us. They are considering our suggestions. They are giving us the values. That will help them, you to motivate your employees. Next is welfare facilities. Yes, this is also another important part. The agencies, whether it is a private government sectors, private sectors or the government sectors, any sectors, because basically what happens now, the government agencies, the government sectors get more benefit, more facilities comparing to the corporates. So, but nowadays even corporates have come out with the good management schemes, and they should incorporate those schemes in the businesses. Now, what are the welfare facilities they can give? They can give creche facilities, that is the child care facilities. As I said, maternity leave, paternity leave, because nowadays paternity leave has been also allowed. Okay, that means leave for the male members. Then canteen facility, recreation facilities, restroom, transport facilities, all these things also matters. If employees is staying far away from the distance of your office, then we should give them pick and drop. Abhi milta bhi hai na? You might have seen pick and drop facilities. So all these facilities, again, that will help your employees to work more efficiently because they will be relaxed. If you are giving them the night shift, isn't it? So early morning, where the employee will arrange the vehicle. So if you are ready to give them the pick and drop facility, then the employee will also be happy. He will be stressless. Next, human resource development. Other development strategies that should be adopted. That means the timely training to the employees, timely upgradation of the employees, timely developing their skill. This is also the important part. See, when we join any of the organization, we join with a certain specific qualification, certain specific criteria, isn't it? But in the same manner, timely, we should be trained by the organization, we should be trained by the companies, and after that, that will also help the company as well as the particular individual to get a good career option, a good career development. And that is required. Because as I said, today is a world full of new innovations, new technologies, new development. If you're saying it now, if I ask someone of you that you know the computers, So if you say me that, no, ma'am, I don't know to write the computer, to type anything in the computer, or I don't know the word, I don't know Excel, that means you are outdated in the market. Okay. So you're the upcoming generation. So you cannot say that the marketers, the society will not accept you. That if you will say that I don't know the computers, that means you are outdated of the technology. So to cope up with this, each and every business organization should give the opportunity to their employees to develop themselves. The timely skill development is required. It's not that ek bar join kar liya, then it is okay. Nothing more the employee has to do. No. If you have joined with some specified qualification. But still you will have to upgrade yourself. And that opportunity should be given by the business organization. There are many corporates who fund for MBA. They might have adopted the candidate with the graduations, but they fund for the MBA for upgradation. And that should happen. That policy should be adopted by each and every organization. Next, what all are our national objectives towards the nation? What is our duties? Number one is social justice. Okay, it means the organization should provide some fund to the economical backward section of the society, economically poor of the society, and the prevention and sorting of the exploitations. That means every organization should find out is there any economical backward area to be funded to give the development. Okay, so it is required for the social justice. Next, development of small scale industry. Business should try to start up small scale industries. As I said, you nowadays it is very good opportunity for even you people to start up with the new businesses. Okay, to start up with new small scale industries. For example, your mass people have set up small industries, and they have started their own businesses. Because as I said, the more number of industries will be, the more number of business will be established, the more the employment opportunity will be given to the society. Next, self-sufficient. Every business enterprise should make the use of available of natural resources. Whatever natural resources are being available with that, they should be using that properly. They should not misuse of the natural resources. Why? Because natural resources, once it is exhaust, we will not be getting it back. So people should see that we should be self-sufficient. We should not be able to depend on the other countries. Because why? The more we will import, the more will be the charges. And the more will be lost to the society. Next, again, development of backward areas. Every organization has to develop the backward areas. They should not just earn profit, make profit, and keep it with it. No, they should develop the society. They should give some fundings to the society for their development. They should give some technical aids to the backward areas, some funding to the backward areas. So these are some of the social objectives. Okay, so these are some of the business objectives that each and every organization